We're counting down to the 2020 NFL Draft, just hours away. We're right on top of this thing now. JP Shadrick with Jaguars General Manager Dave Caldwell. And it's finally here, Dave, after all the buildup. How excited are you for tonight?
I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go and get it done with.
Yeah, it's been a different buildup this year, too, obviously, with everything having to be done from your house and everybody's own homes this year. How different has that made the preparation for you, or was most of the preparation done ahead of all this happening?
It was no. I think there was the last month was pretty busy, and I think it was good work in the last month or so. But we had a lot of it done going into this quarantine period. But we're excited about where we're at.
Dave, take us through the technical part of this thing. There's a different setup in your house. Of course, we saw the photos online the other day of the Caldwell Theater in a different area. You're in the media room right now as we speak on this conversation. But how many people were involved in helping you get that ready to go? How many screens do you have? Take us through your setup if you can.
Well, I can't count how many screens I have, but it's a lot. And but Mike Perkins, Mike Webb, Chris Yiter, They've done a really nice job. Jason Dean, Mike Potts, our IT crew is one of the best in the league, and we feel fortunate to have those guys, and they've done a really nice job. They've been walking in and out of the house all week with their face masks on, and I'm like, we're good here. Nobody here has been around anybody the last month, so. But I think they were doing it out of precautions, and they've done a really nice job in setting it up.
A little more detail on the conversations that you'll have while everything's going on. How many different conversations can you have at one time? I know you'll have one with ownership and the coach, and then the coaches, and then the scouts. How many of those different streams do you have going?
Well, that's fair. My wife will tell you I can have more than one conversation at one time. but I think I think our main screen will have everybody in the organization that's normally in the draft room, our coaches and our scouts. And then I'll have another trade screen with just trade scenarios that we may look at as the draft progresses. And other than that, we got the main WebEx phone from the league that will be on mute, and we'll only use that in case of an emergency.
Dave Caldwell with us, Jaguars General Manager. We're leading up to the 2020 NFL Draft. Well, let's get into it today. How busy have the phone lines been? We always see on social media leading up to the draft, the day before or the day of the draft, possible trade scenarios. How busy are you on a day like this talking to other teams in the league or receiving calls?
Yeah, not too much today. There was a couple today that came in that I was a little bit surprised on, but for the most part, the teams that have interest reached out throughout the week. And I would say this is the most, I don't know if it's because it's the virtual draft, but these are the most phone calls, or maybe we're in a good spot at 9, that I've received throughout the course of my 7 years here.
12 picks right now in this NFL draft for you. That is the most in Jaguars history. But for a general manager and for a guy who used to be a scout, who's been a GM now for a long time, you've got to love having this many draft picks. This is what you're built for, drafting guys.
Yeah, absolutely. I wish we had this in 13 and 14 and when we were first started to build this team. But you know what? We have a good nucleus of players, and we have 12 picks that we can really make some hay. And if we make the right decisions going throughout this weekend, I think this team could be on a track of success pretty early.
Okay, Dave, our final thoughts here. Your checklist for a day like today. I always ask you on this interview what your routine is like on the day of the draft. And you always say, hey, I go out on the beach and I go for a run or whatever I do, ride the bike. Yeah. Probably is what you're doing. How different is this one? What is your checklist today, and how far along are you leading up to the draft?
Well, normally my son's at school. So normally my wife and I will take him to the bus stop or take him to school, and then we'll hang out for a little bit. But we've been doing that the last 30 plus days. So I did get up, had some coffee, watched a little Food Network for a little while, and then, just went for a bike ride, cleared my head, and I'm back now and ready to roll.
Food Network clears your head. How about that?
Well, the bike ride really cleared my head. Food Network was one of my favorite shows, beat Bobby Flay. So.
Right. We'll see if I don't know if anybody can beat Dave Caldwell tonight. Let's put it that way.
Let's hope not.
I hope not either. So you're fired up. You're excited for tonight. At least a player or two could come in tonight and make an immediate impact in this football team. This is a very good deep draft.
That's what we hope, and a lot of it's going to depend on the player once we get here. here, but we feel like there's players there that we can select at 9-20 that will come in and help this team.
Dave, great stuff. Great to visit with you. Best of luck, and we'll talk to you after tonight.
Thanks, JP.